Good day, Spartan Millie here, and welcome back to our Alfa Romeo Motorsport Manager F1 2021 Manager Mod mini-series. Alright, I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Welcome back to the channel. I just want to quickly say I apologize for not uploading yesterday. I had a big weekend. I went out Saturday night and then just got home and my voice was completely gone. I went to the Victory game, Victory City Melbourne Derby on Saturday night, and I screamed my lungs out. And that wasn't the best idea in the city end. I don't know how I got out there alive as a Victory fan. But I did. But yeah, we're back today. Hopefully this video goes out on time. I am recording it a bit later than usual, so hopefully it still comes out about 2 AM Australian Eastern Time. That being said, if you're enjoying the series, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already. Road to 1,000. I got a bit of an announcement coming up later in the video, so stay tuned for that. And comment any thoughts, feedback, and suggestions down in the comment section below. And speaking of that, I just want to say a big thank you to Ollie, Joao, David, and Thomas for commenting on the last video. That being said, let's get cracking on our Alfa Romeo mini-series. Alright, so kicking things off with designing a new part. Our 1800 engine build just completed. And right now it's a 1699 and 10 reliability, so it's going to take a while to get it going up to a racing standard, but hopefully with such a big upgrade, we will shoot up this top speed chart from 9th. And I mean, it's 100 points better than our current one. So I'm really hoping that we see some massive improvement there and we can start moving away up the grid. But we're going to design a new suspension because that's our next worst part. The brakes are, not the brakes, the gearbox is slipping a bit at 5th, but 7th with the suspension. So they're all pretty long parts, unfortunately, engine, gearbox, and suspension. But we're going to go ahead with the suspension here. And we're going to go, our current one's 1.6, so we want better than a 1.6. So 1.672, 22 days, and that's not great. That does add 5 days onto that as well, so that's not going to help. That being said, that's a risk level, so I don't really want that. 10 days is probably nice, and then we can go ahead with a great component build after that one. But we're going to go ahead and build that 10 days, a 1632. It's a nice little upgrade, decent reliability. Let's do that. Alright, so in all my hours of playing Motorsport Manager, this has got to be one of the first, if not the first time I've had both drivers crash out in a Grand Prix. I've seen it happen to other teams plenty of times, but both our boys crashed out within about 20 laps of the Grand Prix starting. Yeah, so Monza GP was a complete bust for us. Both our boys crashed out. They weren't the only ones. We had 4 DNFs with Ocon, Norris, Schwartzman, and obviously Leclerc, who went out on lap 2, I think, and then Schwartzman followed him pretty soon. Can you go this way? Yeah, let's see exactly what lap it was, because it was very early. It wasn't even lap 20, it was 14 and 2. Yeah, wow. Okay, yeah, we weren't that quick this weekend, to be fair. Schwartzman squeezed into Q3 in, what was it, 10th? Yeah, 10th, squeezed in, of course. And then he qualified in 10th in Q3, so he really wasn't on the pace, and Leclerc qualified in Q2 in 15th. So Russell wins the Monza GP, Piastri in 2nd, Ricciardo, who of course won it this season in real life, down in 6th. Schumacher ran out of fuel right at the end, but Hamilton was unable to catch him. A bit of a turn of the tables if you watch McLaren. Obviously, Hamilton always used to run out of fuel, but yeah, crash and burn Monza GP for us. So in the aftermath of those accidents, we of course always have the accept blame or blame rival. Leclerc, fair play to him, fully accepted his blame. Schwartzman, on the other hand, is trying to start smack with Fittipaldi, who I was actually thinking about bringing in, but looking at his profile, he doesn't have the best potential. I mean, it's good potential. It's no potential. He's already a decent driver at 4-star, but our boys have got like 5-star potential with Schwartzman and 5-star Leclerc. So I was thinking about bringing him in, but yeah, definitely can't bring him in now with Schwartzman and him at each other's throats. But a bit of an interesting development there. Alright, so that suspension we built before Monza is now complete. We're still working on the engine, just trying to get the reliability. That's good enough, 65. We'll start kicking down the performance now, or kicking up rather. And obviously that suspension, already decent reliability, but a bit of work to do on the performance side of things. However, our next part we're going to develop, I'm thinking that we really should get started on next year's car. We're up to round 15 now, the Sochi GP, so I really want to stay ahead on the brakes. We've dropped down a 3rd. If you remember at the start of the season, we had the best brakes on grid. So we may do a good, I mean, we don't have that many components here. It's better next year parts if you've just got like 3 different things to choose from. Just pick all the risk levels. But 1853, is there any point even making it a next year part? We can probably just get it through this year. Reliability is not great. Let's do that one. The reliability is decent. 1853, then we can just leave the brakes for the year. It's a decent upgrade, about 50 performance points, and hopefully it takes us to at least close to the top car on the brake side of things. Alright, so now we have a politics vote for 35 dry tyre choices. That is quite a lot of tyres, but just before we kick off this politics vote, I just wanted to say that I did allude to an announcement, and it's sort of, I'm going to make a community post about it as well. That'll go up before this video drops, but just in case you didn't see that post, that if we hit 1,000 subs by the end of the year, as you know, that is the goal. If you've been watching the series, I've been saying it all throughout. If we hit 1,000 subs by the end of the year, I will do a 10-hour Spartan Racing live stream. So if you want to see that, hit that sub button if you haven't already. I think it's about 33% of people who watch this series aren't subscribed. So if you guys hit that subscribe button, it could take us up to 1,000 overnight, which would be amazing to wake up to 1,000 subs. So just putting it out there, let's get these politics vote done. We honestly don't really care. I mean, if they're reducing the tyre choices, then I would care. But I mean, the AI, it more helps the AI than me, because I really look after my tyres. I don't try and use them unnecessarily. But you know what, I'm just going to abstain, keep the vote power, and it's rejected anyway. So the status quo continues, and I'm happy with that. Alright, so a better Sochi GP from Monza. But that was easily done. Schwartzman in 4th, and you won't believe where Leclerc is. He crashed out on lap 2 yet again. The man is on a curse. Yeah, he's on a curse. He is cursed. He's on a bad roll. I got mixed up halfway between. But anyway, yeah, back to Schwartzman here, who put in a banging race. He led this race for 20 laps. I was counting on my fingers. But we eventually had to pit him. Obviously, we did one less stop than everyone else. We pitted, and then in the time between our pit stops, they made heaps of headway, and basically I can't believe all 3 of them escaped. I thought we were on for a podium there for sure, but there's just so much pace. Even Mick Schumacher's got pace, so the Ferraris are quite quick. George Russell wins yet another race. I'm kind of interested to see how the standings look now, but yeah, decent race for Schwartzman. Leclerc, get your act together, man, come on. Alright, so next year's brakes are now done. We're going to work on them after we work on the engine and the suspension. We've got a bit of a backlog going on here, but as we improve the top speed, we can see that column. We've only jumped up 1 spot on the grid from 9th to 8th, but you can see we're pretty much on average now, and I could see the pace in the race. Then did not even mean for that to rhyme, but at Sochi last time out, we look like we had pace, and we've actually dropped from 3rd best car on the grid to 4th, and I felt that. Ferrari are quick. But anyway, back to designing a new car here. We're going to do a next year's suspension, we don't see many risk levels here, but basically we're going to build another suspension. What's the best one? 1682, yeah, that one. And just because this is another big area for us to improve, I don't really want to build another engine component, just because it takes so long, and we want to work on all aspects of the car as equal as possible, really. And that's only a risk level because of that part, but I think that that's quite the essential part for a 1722 suspension. A lot of improving to do. Can we cut that down a bit? 1601, not too bad. Let's go ahead, let's just stick with it. We can improve it, we've got time. Let's build that one. Okay, so we're going to round off the episode here, and I apologize that we only got 2 races in this episode. There's a lot of behind the scenes, a lot of designing new parts. In future episodes, I'm going to try and slim down the design new parts sections to like 30 seconds, because I do talk quite a bit about the car and how it's going, but really we recap it at the end of the episode, so it's probably best to leave it to then. But basically we'll go over it again quickly, even though we've touched on it a couple times this episode. 8th in top speed, 6th in gearbox, we're dropping a bit there as well. 3rd on the brakes, 3rd on low speed, 7th on suspension, and 3rd on high speed. So 3rd in 3 areas isn't too bad. Like I said earlier, we've dropped down to 4th best car on grid. We are still working on our top speed. We got, I think, another 50 performance points on that, so hopefully we can jump up above Prema as well. On the standing side of things, of course, we only had 1 finish out of a possible of 4 this episode, so not much gained on Red Bull, if at all. I think we've dropped back a couple points, but still 10 points there, so 4th place is still on in the constructors. Ferrari are well and truly gone. I mean, they've been gone for ages, that's not changed, but they have been getting faster lately. Obviously unable to win, but Mercedes still win this episode, that is, and Mercedes still behind McLaren by 16 whole points. Hamilton is an anchor on that Mercedes team, because Russell is 24 points in the championship, but Hamilton is still behind Lando by 40 points. So yeah, Mercedes might have to part ways with Hamilton at the end of this year. But that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Make sure to leave a like if you did, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Remember, 1,000 subs by the end of the year, and we get a 10-hour Motorsport Manager Spartan Racing live stream. Leave any thoughts, feedback, suggestions down in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time out.